Hello and welcome back. This is Malakosa and you're watching episode 18 of the Manufactory. I've done quite a lot of just very basic work since last episode, mostly just a little manicuring of the local area. Our quarry is completely dug out our factory area as well, so I've disassembled it. Let's go see what this huge empty hole looks like right now. As we drop down here, it's quite dark. Let's turn on some lights. Yeah, look at that, eh? It's basically one big giant hole. Turn on our jetpack here. As you can see, I've cleaned up all of the walls and ceiling to be just basic stone for now. So this is going to give us quite a nice area to work with. I've also made the ceiling hole, the exit, just a little bit easier to spot. I was having a lot of hard times finding it and then getting out. Of course, there's bedrock on the floor. The bedrock's completely flat, thanks to an add-on called Flat Bedrock. I'm not sure I really like that, but I guess it does give us an extra 5 levels of blocks to work with, so that's okay. So let's go upstairs here and check our newly made to-do list that I just created. So here we are at our big to-do list. We've got some dungeon exploring we need to do. We really should find the entrance to the end. There's some Twilight Forest exploring we probably should do. And there's also some Mistcraft exploring we should do. As far as things to do, we need to really look at our storage system and make it more both automated and accessible, as well as expand all of the items it needs to store. As far as items we need to generate, probably the first thing we need to work on is the cobble and stone generation. We definitely need to look at upgrading our power system. Right now, our power system's pretty meager in that it really only can run a single quarry. We need to look at a recycling system as well. We're going to be getting a lot of cobble in the future and we don't want to waste it. Liquids. Lots of liquids in the game, everything from water to oil to fuel to biofuel, lava. So there's lots of those and we want to get some liquid storage going. We also need to create some kind of automated mining machine. Quarries are great, but they're definitely not automatic in the sense of being able to move around, and they're slow. So we need to do something around that. As far as farm goes, we need a couple of mob farms. We definitely need some wood, so tree farms are definitely going to happen. Bee farms are a great way to get some of our extra items which are otherwise hard to get. We should also get some plant farms. Farming of villagers, definitely good for both Thaumcraft and Mistcraft. And we need to find some more Thaumcraft trees. But first, I think my lighting and glass situation, specifically in here, needs to be fixed. We're using torches right now, which is kind of lame. We need some really good underground lighting for our factory. And this glass, I really don't like. So let me just go and get some items, and I'll be right back to fix that up. Okay, we're back. I'll just get these blocks here and we'll explain what they are. First off, glass viewers. Glass viewers are a glass block that comes from Zycraft. Now, they're really cool in the sense that they're pretty easy to make. They're just glass surrounding an iron ingot. So basically you're spending an iron ingot to get 8 glass viewers. The nice thing about them though is that unlike normal glass, you can actually put wires and signs and other things like that. They are treated as a regular block. So that's really cool. Plus, as you'll see, they have what are known as connected textures, which is really cool. Basically what it does is, as you can see, no borders in the middle. So they look really nice. Now the other nice thing is, when you destroy them, you actually get the block back. So that's even better than normal glass, which just breaks. Now the way we're going to install these, of course, is we're going to use our wand of equal trade. So let's just put one of these down and shift click to set our wand of equal trade to glass sphere. And wow, this is going to be really neat to see. I keep hitting the dirt for some reason. What we'll do is we'll just go outside here and we'll change this dome from regular glass to glass viewer glass. And hopefully I made enough. Check this out. Very cool. And as you can see, it does connect up all nicely, and it doesn't. This is going to take no time whatsoever to actually do. That is just so cool watching that just all break. Now, of course, we're not getting the regular glass blocks back, because when they're destroyed, they actually break and you get nothing back. Normally, with a wand of equal trade, we would get the blocks back, but not in this case. So this is going really quick. I mean, it took me quite a long time to make this dome. It's taking me no time whatsoever to actually replace all the blocks with glass viewer blocks, and I think it's going to look really cool. One of the nice things about this is there basically is just no way to make a mistake. I mean, it's going to replace the glass blocks and only the glass blocks. Or I should say, only the blocks I click on. So I better not accidentally click on something that's not glass. As my wand is slowly being used up, I do have lots of wands of extra trade. I made a couple of extra between episodes, just in case. And so once I have this done, I will be right back. Alright, we're back. And as you can see, we've completed redoing our dome and glass viewer. It looks kind of cool with the frames, the wireframe effect. It's pretty cool. Now, the other thing we wanted to deal with is our lighting situation. I really don't like these torches, but as you can see, when we remove them, we get this nasty F7 effect, which tells you where the mobs will spawn, and we don't want mobs spawning in here, but I don't want torches either. So, what can we do for lighting? Well, thanks to, I believe, factorization, yes, factorization, we have the ability to create what are known as wrath lamps. Now, wrath lamps, of which I've created quite a few, are created as follows. It's just some dark iron, some silver, some glass panes, and a wrath igniter. Now, stupidly, I made a lot of wrath igniters. As you can see, a lot of wrath igniters. Now, just so you know, when you make a wrath lamp, it does not consume a whole wrath igniter. It consumes a single use of a wrath igniter. So I made way too many wrath igniters for the 48 wrath lamps I wanted. Now, other thing to note about wrath lamps, they create a huge amount of light. Now, Minecraft mechanics only allow light to go a maximum of 15 blocks. So the mod writer for Factorization solved this problem by having the wrath lamp actually create invisible blocks when you place it, which help transmit the light a vast distance. I think it goes up to 32 blocks away. So they create a lot of light, but they do it by using invisible blocks. So just be aware, this can cause problems with things like tanks and other mods if the invisible block gets in the way of things. Normally when placing blocks, they don't have a problem. You won't be able to see them, so they have no effect to your visuals, but they are there. So just be aware. So we're just going to place 4 wrath lamps in these corners right here. And that should be able to not only put off a huge amount of light, but we should have no problems with mobs. So let me do that. Now that we've got this place upstairs, I'll get rid of the torches later. One of the things I want to show you is the actual placement. Oops, get rid of that screen. Don't want that screen. Hit J. Let's go down here. As you can see, it's really dark and scary. Now I'll turn on night vision just so that I can press F9 and see where I want to place my first wrath lamp. What I'm going to do, if I can get my jetpack on. Thank you, jetpack. So there's our corner chunk for our factory, and I'm going to put a single wrath lamp right here. It's placed, and what I'm going to do is turn off, and as you can see, it's putting off a ton of light. All the way, pretty much down, a far way down actually. Not as far as I thought it would though. That might be because it's entirely possible the light needs to be updated. Or it's entirely possible that's as far as it'll go down. So we'll have to see about that. We might have to put these on the floor of the factory as well. I'm not quite sure where the top level floor is going to be. It's definitely not going to be bedrock level. Now these things also take a while to destroy, so I'll turn my jetpack off. Come on, there we go. So let me place, what I'm going to do is basically place a wrath lamp at every corner of every chunk within the factory. So let me do that, and I will show you how much more lit up this place is without night vision. So I'm back, just making some more wrath lamps. One of the things I really like about the fabricators is you can really make lots of stuff really quickly. So there's another 28 wrath lamps, and I'll be right back once I've placed those. Okay, so we're down in the bottom of our factory floor here, and we just finished placing all of our wrath lamps. And as you can see, they're putting off quite a lot of light, but they're not reaching the floor. I don't know if that's such a big deal right now. And you can also see I've laid out a little road here. If we turn our night vision on, you can see it better. So what I'm going to do is just create a marble road here. We're going to do that across all 4 axes and get the start of a floor going. I'm doing this at level 12. The rest of the area is going to eventually be filled in with stone, and we'll use it to hide all of our piping and everything. So this level right here is going to be where our factory floor is going to be, and hopefully we won't have to lower the lights, but we'll quickly find out. So as you can see, I've set up my filler here with just the solid fill, and we're going to use marble bricks. Now marble bricks are made just from marble in a 4 square, and you get 4 bricks, so it's basically 1 for 1. I find they kind of look kind of cool as a road surface, but if we don't like it, we can always change it up later. So let's go. Alright, here comes the road. Check it out. That's pretty cool. Look at that. Alright, now we're going to use F7 and see if we need to lower these lamps a bit. And look at that. Sure enough, yeah, we're going to need to lower them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go off camera and lower these lamps down a bit more. We'll have to figure out how much more. And we'll probably put in the rest of our roads here. And then we're going to get started on some real automation with the factory. Probably get started with our cobble and stone generation. We're going to need a lot of stone generation. So I'll be right back once that's done. No, I fell. Okay, so here we are, just finishing repositioning the last of our wrath lamps. I had to move them down a total of 5 blocks to get the kind of light coverage I needed. One of the other neat tricks with landmarks is that you can also use them as a good way to figure out where to place stuff. So as you can see, I've put down a grid of landmarks and activated them with redstone torches, just to give me a really good way of knowing that all of my rat lamps are perfectly positioned. And so now, if I go down here, let's just take our jetpack off, and let's just, this square right here is the furthest point from a lamp of any type. So let me just show you and demonstrate to you that, yes, indeed, we did do this correctly. So what I'm just going to do is just put some cobblestone just one level below, again, farthest away from the rat lamps. And as you can see, if we press F7, 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 really? Oh, I guess they really are quite far away then. Let's just see how deep we have to go here. F7. Come on, give me my F7. There we go. So that one's definitely going to have monsters on it. Same with that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. And does that one have monsters on it? No, it doesn't. So as you can see, we've got a little bit extra lamp. That's probably because I had to move the lamps in by one block each way. So this is going to give us well more than enough room, or light I should say, to prevent any mobs from spawning. You can see there are still some dark areas, but really I'm going to ignore that for now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a cobblestone floor in one of these quadrants, and maybe some grass and or slabs to make it just look nice. I want a road with sidewalk with grass, and then that'll give us a nice area to start building our factory. I'll actually get to build our factory now. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are using our filler to put in our sidewalks. I've decided to use stone slabs as sidewalks. Now, the tricky thing about these is the filler can only use blocks. If you try to use just the slabs in the filler, it doesn't really work very well. So use the blocks for sure. And of course, these are simply made with 2 slabs, and the slabs are simply made with 3 stone. So I just went upstairs, made a whole bunch of these, and we're ready to go. You also notice I put in a grass border and a cobblestone floor. Don't worry about the cobblestone, we'll take care of that. But the best way to do this with the filler is to do the middle first, because that way then you can do the grass and now the sidewalks very simply without having to worry about creating a whole bunch. And there's our sidewalks all done. Look at that. That is quick. God, I love the filler for building stuff. It's so cool. So now that we have a floor, it'd be really nice if this was stone. Wrath igniters will help us with that. So we'll take care of that. And then the other thing I want to use this floor immediately is we're not going to bother building buildings on this or anything. We're just going to leave all the machinery visible so that it looks eventually like a giant, just massive machine, which will be really cool. And the first thing we really need to get working on, as you can see, is stone, grass, dirt, and cobblestone. Well, the grass and the dirt, that's going to be a bit of a challenge, but the stone and the cobblestone, we got a plan for that. So let me go get some materials and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're over here in our blaze farm, trying to get some more blaze rods. I only really need 3 more. Ow. It's kind of getting annoying actually having to come here and collect these. So at some point, I really should make a mob farm for blazes. But right now, we only need a couple more of these, 3 more, so. Die, silly blazes. Oh, I really need to, oh no, I'm going to die. What's going on with my keyboard? Ah! I'll block this off a bit. Yeah, take that, you evil blaze. Ooh, smack, smack. Ha ha. Ha ha ha! Evil! Die. Some more. Oh, we need one more. We need one more. Come on. Oh, these blazes are so chicken. Ow. That wasn't very nice. Ow. Oh, if I die here, I'm going to be really, really annoyed. In fact, haha. There you go. Take that. Yeah, take that. Yeah, died. Oh, there's my blaze rod. Excellent. Alright. Let's get back. Let's get out of here and get back to what we were doing. Okay, we're back in the overworld, and if you were wondering why I needed blaze rods, well, we're making more ender tanks. 2 more, in fact. Already had a couple, and we're going to put them over in our chest here. And there we go. We're going to need 4 ender tanks, some water, some aqueous accumulators, some igneous extruders, and a whole bunch of liquid duct, which we had already made. Now, for stone and cobblestone, the igneous extruder is really the best way to go. And I will show you why. Basically, just place it down. And actually, sorry, that's the aqueous accumulator, which will also be useful. But this is the igneous extruder, and basically what it does is it allows you to create cobblestone, stone, or obsidian. All you have to do is select it. Now, it does need to be loaded up with lava and water, which is pretty easy to do. And then it'll just produce whichever one you want. Now, for our purposes, we're going to be producing mostly stone. Stone uses up a bucket of water and 2 millibuckets of lava per block, and it does that every 4 seconds, I think. I did the math. It turns out that for every 4 igneous extruders, we're going to need a single aqueous accumulator. Now I'm going to do 64 igneous extruders, all producing stone for us. I'm not so concerned about our cobblestone production right now. We've got tons of cobblestone upstairs. Our quarry or our mining machine, once we get to it, will also produce copious amounts of cobblestone. So I'm not so concerned about that, but we do need stone. So I'm going to have a lot of clicking here because we'll also have to change this configuration. Basically what we're going to have is we're going to have lava pipes above and water pipes below. So the first thing we need to do is we need to set up our water. So let me just go and do that, and I will show you what the water layer will look like. Also, just before we get started, I decided to turn this floor into stone. And how are we doing that, you ask? Well, I set it ablaze with my wrath igniters. And as you can see, it's turning all of this cobblestone into stone and leaving lots of fire. So yes, don't do this around your house or anything like that. Lots of fire. But very easy and cheap way to make cobblestone, or I should say stone, out of cobblestone. And as all the fires go out, we are now ready to lay down what will be our water layer for our igneous extruders. And I'm going to do it right over here. Okay, and there's the last of our aqueous accumulators placed. What I basically did was, this is an 8x8 area, which will be topped off by our igneous extruders. The next level down is another 8x8 area, which will be liquid ducts containing water. And then the level below that is our aqueous accumulators. The configuration, you can leave it as is, so thankfully, not a lot of clicking. If you wanted to, you could maybe run redstone underneath these to provide an on-off switch. I don't see the need. So now all we have to do is basically fill this place in with water. And Bob's your uncle. Basically, each of the aqueous accumulators needs to have a minimum of 2 water sources near it. So usually what I do is I just put a grid that looks very similar to this, and that'll allow your accumulators to do what they need to do, which is, of course, accumulate water. Okay, as you can see, our aqueous accumulators are accumulating water. They contain about 4 buckets each. We've got all the water filled in. Now, as a test, I did try and use the filler to place the liquid ducts. That didn't work out so well, so don't try that. You're going to have to place these yourself. So one of the things that you're going to notice pretty quickly is that, well, first of all, you need your wrench to remove them, so don't forget that. And secondly, when placing empty ones next to full ones, regardless of what the liquid is, they won't connect by default. So to connect them up, simply right click, and there you go. So we'll lay down all of the rest of these pipes and start putting down our igneous extruders to take advantage of all of this water. Okay, we've got all of our water pipes down, and as you can see, we've put down our first set of igneous extruders. Basically, the configuration you want to do is you want to have the top and bottom be blue, so that'll be lava in, and the bottom will be water in. We don't care about the sides, so we're going to leave them empty, and we do want the back to be this inventory square. That's going to allow us to extract the stone blocks once they get created. We're going to use a router to do that, so that we'll only need one router to extract blocks from all 64 igneous extruders, and the router will be able to easily handle that. So, as you can see, I've got a lot of clicking to do. The other thing is, we want all of these facing the same direction, just so that we don't have to worry about the configuration being different based on what facing they're located, and that's why I'm doing it one row at a time. So I'll be right back once we do the other 7 rows. Okay, there's all 64 igneous extruders, but of course now we need to supply lava to them. That's pretty simple. We did get 4 ender tanks after all, so just put a liquid pipe or liquid duct on top of it, and we're going to put an ender tank, and it's hooked into our lava supply, and now all we have to do is turn that, and it's going to fill the igneous extruder with lava, and as you can see, it's producing a single stone block every 4 seconds. It's using up a full bucket of water and a very tiny little bit of lava. So now all we have to do is extend that lava supply to the rest of our igneous extruders, and I'll be right back once we've done that. Okay, so we've got pipes on all of our igneous extruders. Let's just join them up and let's see what happens. As you can see, our ender tank is slowly, oh yeah, you can see the lava is being consumed out of our ender tank, and it's probably not going to keep up, but that's okay. This is just the initial filling of the igneous extruders. Each of them, remember, takes 4 buckets, and as you can see, it's slowly filling up, and eventually these front ones, in fact this one will be the very farthest one, and as soon as it hits 1,000 millibuckets, it starts producing stone blocks. Unfortunately, we have no way of preventing it from just only filling up halfway. It's going to fill up all the way. So I'm a bit of an overkill. Anything worth doing is overkilling. And so I'm going to provide multiple ender tanks to hook into our lava storage system. This is probably not necessary, and eventually we are going to get into a proper liquid storage system, which I will probably put over there somewhere, which will store both water and lava and probably oil and fuel and a couple of other really important liquids. But right now, the only reason why I'm putting these four ender tanks in the positions they're in is just so that we can get an equal distribution of lava across all of these igneous extruders. Now, at some point, these igneous extruders are going to be finished creating their 64 stone blocks. And at that point, they won't be able to create any more blocks. And interesting, I note that our water supply for some reason is not keeping up, and I'm wondering why that is. It's probably because the distribution of water is not being equitable. So we're going to have to figure that out. I was thinking 4 to 1 was enough, and I even did an extra 2. I mean, there's 18 aqueous extruders down there, or excuse me, aqueous accumulators down there. I may have to put more in. Well, wait a minute. Did I do my math wrong? 4 to 1 would be 16. I put 18 in. No, that should be fine. So I'm not sure why this water is not keeping up. Because it's definitely not filling up in 4 seconds, a full bucket. So we will have to redo our math, and I will be right back. Okay, as you can see, our water production for this 64 set of igneous extruders is not keeping up. The reason it's not keeping up is I made a mathematical error. You actually need you need a single aqueous accumulator for 2 igneous extruders, which means we need at least 32 of them. Now, we've only got 18, and I want some extra. Well, 36 is a nice number, 9 times 4 rows. Each row will have to have water on both sides. That means it has to be 9 blocks wide, 9 blocks long. So that's what we're going to do underneath. Unfortunately, means a lot of messing around with water and flying. So I'm going to do it off camera, so you're not going to see it. So I'll be right back once that's done, and we'll check on how quick this is. It should be twice as quick. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, just so you're aware, I haven't been wasting time. We have been processing all of our ores, as you can see, quite a number of ores. And if you've been wondering about how I got the grass downstairs, I was using minium stones to do various transformations, including cobblestone to grass, jungle wood to obsidian to get some obsidian, because we happen to be quite low on obsidian right now. We've only got 1. I did also steal the extra dimensional upgrade from the obsidian barrel and put it on our stone barrel, which, as you can see, is going, well, basically for shits and giggles right now, if you don't mind the language. I mean, we're getting a large amount of stone. I would say a stack every 8 or 10 seconds. It's still not fast enough for me, though. And I found out why. The aqueous accumulator only gets a bucket of water every about 6 to 8 seconds. So, unfortunately, that means probably a 1-to-1 ratio between accumulators and right now we've got 8 times 4, 32. So I think we need another 32 accumulators. So I'm going to get on and create those, and that should be relatively easy to do. I don't know, it's pretty fast. I should show you this online. So we've got 4, that means 28. So let's see how good we do this. That's 26, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's 28 of those. And the recipe, as you well know, is that. So we need gold now. Do we have 28 gold? Yes, we do. We need more iron. Need more iron. More iron. Gotta get more iron. Alright. We put a whole ton of iron in here, bunch of gold or a bunch of glass, and here's the trick. Limit it by gold. And there we go, there's 28 of those. And now we need pneumatic servos, which means we need some redstone. Again, we only need 28, so 1, 2, 3, 4, done. That was 29 actually, so just be careful. Always limit the production of the fabricator in some way, otherwise you'll produce way too many of what you're trying to do, and that sucks. So now what we need is we need tin and glass. Is that all we need? Tin and glass? Bunch of glass. Do we need some tin? Not enough though. Alright, I think I did manufacture some tin over here. Tin. Tin. I know we are going late here, but I do want to complete this machine before I end this episode. So there we go. There's our 32 more aqueous accumulators. Now what I need more than anything right now is liquiduct. As you well know, liquiduct is produced using obsidian dust or pulverized obsidian and lead. Now I believe we have some lead in here. And all we do is go to our induction smelter, throw in the obsidian and lead, and it's going to produce hardened glass for us. And we will at the same time need some copper. Because if I'm not mistaken, liquiducts are made from copper. Now I'm not sure how many of these we'll need. 8 times 4, 32. Actually, we only need a bit more, so that should be enough. And I believe I was making them right here. Nope, it's not. Liquid. QUID. I can spell. And there's the liquiducts, and there's the recipe. And bingo, bango, bongo. There's 32 liquiducts, which I know is more than enough. I had some extra from before. So we're going to put all of this stuff away. And if you're wondering, I was using jungle saplings to get me some more wood. Gotta love bone meal and jungle saplings. That's why I have that axe too. So I'm going to put all this stuff away and then go downstairs and put a second layer of 32 aqueous accumulators and hook them all up. And that should be more than enough to keep our stone machine running at full tilt. And hopefully by the time I do this, this won't be full, so we'll be able to show you how quick this thing goes. So I will be right back. Okay, so here we are underneath our contraption. We've set up a filler to fill in some walls here. And as you can see, I've hooked up the extra 32 aqueous accumulators. So what I'm doing now is just using the filler to create a room around it. The way to do that is simply use your bricks to configure the filler to do an empty room. Should look like that. I'm going to fill it, in this case, with stone. Now we have a nice way to make stone really easily. And I'm going to throw on. And as you can see, bang, 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 goes the walls, and we're done. God, I love fillers. Now we're going to break into this room, because now what I have to do is fill these channels full of water so that the aqueous accumulators on the second level can start doing their thing. So I'll be right back once that's done. Okay, I don't know how, but the Endermen are after me. And he's really annoyed, and I saw him and was on fire, and now he's chasing me. Being really annoying. I find the best way to fight these guys, frankly, is by looking at their feet. So I don't know why he came after me, but oh my god, he almost killed me. I hate Endermen. They're not my mortal enemies, but boy, oh, they are annoying. So let's get back to our project here. Okay, we're upstairs. I've temporarily turned off the router downstairs so that we can see that we're currently at 334 stacks of stone. I completed the reconfiguration of those aqueous accumulators, so we now have 64 of them in 2 layers underneath the generator, as shown here. You can't see them, of course, because I blocked them all in an 11 by 11 by, I think, 5 room. It's got all water and everything, and nothing's getting in there. You don't want to go in there. It's really hard to navigate in there, and it's just not worth doing. Everything's configured. You should never have to go in there. I also surrounded all of the igneous extruders with stone brick steps, just to make it look nice, because it was looking really ugly, and there were some water pipes over here that there's no easy way to hide. So the question is, will this be able to keep up? So let's turn this eject bottom to eject top. All of our igneous extruders should now be extracting, and look at that, wow. The water's just keeping up just nicely. I mean, it's probably not completely, well, no, of course, it is perfect, because otherwise it would empty, and it would go all the way down here. So it looks like we're good. Let's check some of these other igneous extruders and see. Yes, sir, we're good. They're pumping out full tilt now. 64 igneous extruders running at full tilt. That means we're getting a stack of stone every 4 seconds out of these igneous extruders. And as you can see, it looks like our ender chest is not keeping up. Not surprising, because this router here and the one upstairs have the same speed upgrades, so they're going to keep up with each other just barely, basically. If I put anything else in here, it's going to just, as you can see, get clogged up. Although, interestingly enough, when we put it in, yeah, see? And now, is it, I don't know what's going on now. Curious, it's stuck at 3. Well, let's go find out. A little bit of lag, not surprising. I'm running a couple of things, including my recording software, but this shouldn't lag us out too much. We may need to provide some kind of off switch. As you can see, we're getting a lot of action going on. Now, this is not surprising, and our factory probably will lag out from time to time as we ramp up production, but we won't. We'll be producing 1 or 2 blocks at a time, and then only as needed. And next episode, we'll get into the better storage system, which I have worked up. But for now, I hope you enjoyed watching this episode and learned something new. Please like, subscribe, and leave any comments or suggestions. This has been episode 18 of the Manufactory with Malacosa, and I'm signing out.